Hey guys, I hope you all are well. So I was checking my DayZ guides playlist on YouTube and thinking on what guide I haven't done yet and which one I could do for you next. I have medical, crafting, base building, PvP, and some other guides. And someone suggested me to make a guide on how to build a safe base in DayZ, and I like this idea, so this is what this video will be about. Base building and base raiding is a big part of DayZ, and most of the players at some point will try to build their base or raid someone else's base. So let's say you watched my base building video and know how to build one, but that is not enough. It is also very important to know how to build a safe base, otherwise you will just waste your time on collecting supplies and resources and building a base that will get raided right away. There are quite a few tricks when it comes to base building and base raiding, and I will try to cover all or most of them in this video. As always on my guide videos, I will try to keep it short and simple, straight to the point, and under 10 minutes long. So let's start by the main mistakes that players make when they build bases that allows other players to raid their bases very easily. And look, I'm not talking about huge bases with hundreds of walls and watchtowers and huge compounds overall. I'm talking about simple, quick, easy to build and safe bases that you can get going quite fast with minimal materials right after you start. All it takes is a couple of walls turned into the gate and you're good to go. So first and probably the most common mistake is not covering all the windows. DayZ implemented vaulting not that long ago, and this allows you to boost, crawl or vault through some of them. Some in-game buildings and houses have windows that you can use to enter the building, but not all of them. Why? I don't know. Some houses allow that, some not. It is up to you to check if the windows in the house you chose to build in can be used to enter your base. I will show some of the houses that you can enter just by crawling through the windows, but you should definitely check that yourself in offline mode before you actually start committing to building your base in your preferred building. Big industrial building with blue doors, you can get inside by using side windows. Log cabin, you can get in by boosting with your friend or any item through the bedroom window. School gyms are usually a great place for a base, but you have to make sure you cover those windows as well, as you can crawl through those. Big and small brown wooden barns look like a great location, and they're very popular for a base as they are spacious, but also be aware that there are a lot of gaps and openings in that building, so if you choose that one, you will have to cover those. Second mistake, which is probably just as common as the first one, is leaving open gaps and spaces above the walls and gates, or leaving gaps between the airlocks. Gate location is the most important component of your base. Place it incorrectly and others can jump over it or dismantle it. So what is the correct gate placement? How do you know if you did it right or not? The correct and perfect gate placement is in the spots where a full gate structure will cover the whole opening. If you leave even a small gap above your fence or gates, others will find a way to crawl through that eventually. You can use tents or other players to elevate yourself and boost over fences that are one fence tall quite easily if there is enough of a gap left. So make sure you find the base where each gate you will place will cover the whole opening. Some good examples are schools, orange brick houses, apartment buildings, little garages, and some others. This may be a bit harder to achieve on consoles or vanilla servers, as placement can be tricky, especially if you try to build one wall on top of another, but it is doable. Some bases can be super low-key if you want, for example securing only one room somewhere in school building or securing a room somewhere in apartments. Before base building was implemented in DayZ, those areas were commonly used for stashes like barrels because of very low foot traffic. Another mistake, or maybe it's more like a suggestion, and this is coming from me as being one of the top 5 DayZ server owners. Do not assume that the server rules are there to protect your base. Theoretically, yes, that is the purpose of it, but some players just don't care about any of the rules and do not respect them and don't follow them. Most of the community servers have their own building and raiding rules that make some ways of raiding illegal and punishable. They tend to differ from server to server, so what is okay in one server may not be okay in another one, and there's only one way to protect your base, which is to build as there were no rules at all. Build a way where your base will be safe regardless of what are the server rules. Most of them disallow building around other base to gain access to it, but that won't stop someone from doing it anyway. Some servers don't allow its players to crawl or wall through windows, but that doesn't mean you should not cover them, because someone will still do it even if that will give them access to your base. Yes, he will get banned from the server, but you will still lose your time, loot and effort together with it as well. Build a base where other players won't be able to access it even if they break all the rules of the server. Try raiding your own base. This is the best way to prove your concept. Pretend you are the raider and this is not your base. Take a hatchet or crowbar or any other raiding tool in your hands and run around trying to dismantle it. Try glitching through gaps, windows, crawl underneath stuff, and all other ways that can be used to get access into someone's base. Check surrounding buildings and structures and see if you can access your base by jumping from those. If you can, take over multiple rooms of a building and make some of them as a decoy. Don't make it obvious where your best loot is. Sometimes the safest bases are the ones that draw the least attention, so base location is also very important. For example, if you have a base up north, around Novaya Petrovka or Lopatino, Sinistok, Severograd, everyone will automatically assume that you have good loot there and will want to raid you because you are close to this military base. And if you build close to the coast, somewhere in Cherno, Electro, or even Kozlovka or Svetloyarsk, people may think that you probably don't have anything valuable there since it's so far from all tier 3 and tier 4 military loot. On my previous base building guide video, many people were asking in comments where can they find building materials. So I will do a quick run through on this video on what are the best spots to find them. All the tools you need you can find in industrial garages, sheds, big tall industrial buildings, shacks. One of the best spots to find nails is wooden port bodies next to the civilian houses in almost any town. You can also find nails on top of the cranes in Cherno dock area. Another tip, you do need quite a few tools at once to secure a building to make it your base. It is quite hard to get them all on you at once without dying, especially if you are playing on a high pop server. I would suggest to start from finding a dry bag or making a wooden crate and having a shovel, and every time you find one of the tools you need for your base, stash it. It takes longer this way, but it's more likely that you will actually collect all the needed tools without dying and losing everything and having to start over from having nothing. One of the most common reasons for not having a base is because players cannot gather all the needed tools, and securing tools one by one in stashes should help you achieve that. Then, when you have all of them, you collect your stashes around the map and you are good to go. I think I mentioned the most important things, in my opinion, on how to make your base safer and more secure. I could go on and on, but as I said in the beginning, I wanted to keep this video short and straight to the point. Let me know what are the tricks you use to build safe bases and protect it. I hope it was helpful and I hope you learned something new from this video. If you did, please sub to my channel and click thumbs up if you would like to see more of this. Also, if you have any other questions regarding DayZ in general or video suggestions, you're always welcome to join my Discord, as I'm available there every day. You can find link in the description. I wish you all the best, safe building and happy raiding, and as always, I will see you on the next one. Cheers.